Welcome. We are glad you are watching the Coxswain information video, so you will be well prepared for the race weekend. In this clip, we will discuss the following subjects, starting with some general information, timetables, qualification, weighing and also the collection of bib and bow numbers, the starting procedures of the 4 distances with their accessory bridges, a couple of course rules, and finally the procedures for submitting protest. It is important to be aware of the emergency number. In the unlikely event of an emergency, you will be able to contact this number. For information on changes, withdrawals and protests, the Secretariat is there to help you at Neerhuis on the second window after entry. For results and bib and bow numbers, there will be a pop-up building across from Neerhuis. All weigh-ins will be done at the gym at Neerhuis. The Razende reporters will provide live commentary this year. The award ceremony will be 8:30 for the race divisions and at 5 o'clock for the non-race divisions. Be aware that these times can be altered. The timetable can be found on the website. Here you can study when and where you have to be during the race weekend. The club divisions will only qualify themselves for the 5,000 meters when they are part of the top 15 crews on Saturday. For the 3 bib numbers and the bow number, there will be a deposit needed of €20. The shirt numbers need to be pinned on well so that they are clearly visible. 2 of the shirt numbers are attached to the bow, 1 is attached to the Coxswain. The shirt numbers and bow numbers should be attached appropriately like it shows in the picture. First pickup is on Saturday morning. The times of the pickup can be found in the timetable. Note that you need to change your number for every other distance. The weighing of the Coxswains for the race divisions is only on Saturday. This happens 2 to 1 hour before the start of the heat at Neerhuis at the gym. The weighing is done only in race clothing, so no extra clothes are allowed. The same applies for the lightweights. They only have to weigh in on Saturday for the whole weekend. The weigh-in schedule can be found in the timetable on the website. Now the starting procedures will be addressed for every single distance, but before we start it is important to know about the following. Between starting times, priority will be given to those boats that have to change crews at the dock, and crews launching to go to the start. Other crews are asked to stay on the water as long as possible until all crews going to the start are launched. We will start with the 2500 meters. In this picture you can see the start and assembling zones. We expect you to be in your assigned zone 10 minutes before the actual start. These zones are marked on the starting list that are located at the cabin where you collect your shirt and bow numbers. The highest shirt numbers start first and will position themselves in zone 1, which will decrease towards zone 4. It is a flying start and there will be 15 seconds between every other crew. Pay attention and be anticipating, because when your crew is too slow or too quick, it will lead to a penalty. Finishing on starboard side of the finish tower is also allowed. It is important that you are located behind the Rozennoord Bridge 5 minutes before start. When this is not the case, your crew will be excluded from the race. To get a better understanding of the 2500 meters, I will take you with me through the course. We will start with the whole overview of the course, and then we will begin in the zones behind the start, starting with zone 4, followed by zone 3, 2, and 1. As mentioned earlier, the shirt numbers will be highest in zone 1 and will decrease as the zones go up. Then we have the pre-start, indicated with the yellow line. When passing the pre-start, you will have to build up your speed so that you will pass the actual start of the 2500 meters at full speed, indicated with the green line. The first bridge that you will pass is the Rozennoord Bridge, and it is only allowed to pass through the right bridge entry. The left one is not allowed. The next bridge is the Utrechtse Bridge. The right entry as well as the left entry are not allowed. Only the middle one is allowed to pass. The last bridge that you will pass is the Berlage Bridge. Here, the most right and the most left entry are not allowed. You will have to pass the bridge through the 3 middle arches. When you pass the Berlage Bridge, you will finish in front of Neerhuis. Note that other crews will also finish their race, so to prevent a congestion, go in light pedal towards the 250 that will directly follow after. Directly after the 2500 meters, the 250 meter sprint will follow. This sprint will be raced in pairs, with the uneven numbers on starboard side within that pair. In pairs you will go side by side and hold at the alignment point. Together you will go in light pedal and pass the pre-start, whereafter you will build up to racing speed after the giving sign, so you can go past the actual start in full speed. The pre-start is 15 meters in front of the start. Here you see an overview of the 250 meter sprint. Go starboard side in light pedal towards the Nieuwe Amstel Bridge. At the bridge, the uneven numbers will pass the bridge to the right entry and the even numbers through the left entry. After the bridge, you will go light pedal straight forward till you pass the buoy, where you will make a turn with the port side facing the buoy. This way you will end up again at the Nieuwe Amstel Bridge. Just like before, the uneven numbers will pass the bridge to the right entry and the even numbers through the left entry. After passing the bridge, you will row in pairs to the pre-start indicated in yellow. At this point, you will build up speed after the giving sign, so you will pass the actual start at full speed. Again, you will finish in front of Neerhuis. Then, Sunday morning arrives, the 5000 meters. In this picture you can see the start and the assembling zones. We expect you to be in your assigned zone 5 minutes before the actual start. These zones are marked on the starting list that are located at the cabin where you collect the shirt and bound numbers. We also expect you to have passed the Rosenoord Bridge 15 minutes before the actual start. The highest shirt numbers start first and will position themselves in zone 1, which will decrease towards zone 4. It's a flying start, and there will be 15 seconds between every other crew. Just like the 2500 meters, there will be a penalty given at the 5000 meters when you deviate too much from the 15 seconds between every start. So pay attention and be anticipating on when you will have to start. Finishing on starboard side of the finishing tower is also allowed. At the 5000 meters there will be a row back lane till Schul and Willem III after the race. To get a better understanding of the 5000 meters, I will take you with me through the course. We will start with the whole overview of the course, and we will begin in the zone area behind the start, starting with zone 4, followed by zone 3, 2 and 1. As mentioned earlier, the shirt numbers will be highest in zone 1 and will decrease as the zones go up. Then we have the pre-start, indicated with the yellow line. When passing the pre-starts, you will have to build up your speed so you will pass the actual start of the 5000 meters at full speed, indicated with the green line. Not that far from the race you will pass the Great Curve. It's a large curve, so be aware. The first bridge that you will pass is the Rosenoord Bridge. In contrast to the 2500 meters, it is in the 5000 meters allowed to use both bridge entries. The next bridge is the Utrechtse Bridge. The right entry as well as the left entry are not allowed. Only the middle one is allowed to pass the bridge. The last bridge that you will pass is the Berlage Bridge. Here, the most right and the most left entry are not allowed. You will have to pass the bridge through the 3 middle arches. When you pass the Berlage Bridge, you will finish in front of Neerhuis. Now we have reached the final distance of the race weekend, the 750 meters. Note that you have to reattach new shirt numbers and bound numbers. Also with the 750, we will work with the assembling zones. The sprint will be raced in pairs, again with the uneven numbers on starboard side within their pair. In pairs you will go side by side and hold at the alignment point. Together you will go in light pedal and pass the pre-starts, whereafter you will build up your speed after the giving sign so you can go past the actual start in full speed. The pre-start is 50 meters in front of the start. Here you see an overview of the 750 meter sprint. This time there will be 5 assembling zones. We will begin in the zone area behind the start, starting with zone 5, followed by 4, 3, 2 and 1. As mentioned earlier, the shirt numbers will be highest in zone 1 and will decrease as the zones go up. At the Nieuwe Amstel Bridge, the uneven numbers will pass the bridge to the right entry and the even numbers through the left. After the bridge you will go in light pedal straight forward till you pass the buoy, where you will make a turn with the port side facing the buoy. This way you will end up again at the Nieuwe Amstel Bridge. Just like before, the uneven numbers pass the bridge to the right entry and the even numbers through the left. After passing the bridge you will row in pairs to the pre-starts indicated in yellow. At this point you will build up speed after the giving sign, so you will pass the actual start in full speed. Again you will finish in front of Neerhuis. We finished all 4 starting procedures. Now we will discuss some of the general rules. In the first place, there is safety and sportsmanship that will always have the upper hand, so do not take unnecessary risks with an overtaking or when being overtaken. The overtaking crew is always allowed to choose their ideal course. The overtaken crew is not allowed to hinder an overtaking crew. Never abuse your right when you are an overtaking crew. The overtaking crew should move out of the way before stern and bow are aligned. Anticipate during an overtaking, when approaching a bridge. Choose your bridge entry on time. Based on the previous stated rules, we will address 3 different but very frequent situations. The first situation is an overtaking situation without an obstacle. As you see, is boat B overtaking boat A. This results boat A giving room to boat B, so it can resume its course without being hindered. The next situation is an overtaking situation within a turn. Just like the first situation, boat B is overtaking boat A. This results in boat A giving room to boat B, so it can pass on the inner side of the bend. The final situation is situated at the bridge with multiple entries and multiple crews. Boat B is already overtaking boat A. Both boats, boat A as well as boat B, are not able to make room for the approaching boat C, without bringing themselves in danger. Therefore, boat C is obliged to stay behind boat A or boat B, or it can choose another entry. However, it is never permitted to pass the bridge through a bridge entry that is not allowed. When you want to submit protest, you have to raise your hand when passing the finish. After, you should go directly to an official. For the 2500 meters and the 5000 meters, there is an official on the boat located at the finish. For the 250 meters and 750 meters, there will be an official at the dock opposite of Neerhuis. For the sprints, a re-row is a possibility when the officials have validated your protest. Also, there needs to be submitted a written complaint at the information desk located at Neerhuis. May there be questions by any chance? Feel free to ask them on Friday night between 6 and 8 at Neerhuis, or send us an email to wedstrijdleiding@roeivierkamp.nl. On behalf of the entire organization of the Heineken Roeivierkamp, I wish you good luck during the race weekend.